What's happening, YouTube? Welcome to the Mr. Winslow channel. I am Mr. Winslow, your host, and today we're going to be discussing a topic of prime importance in the African American community. This topic is entitled Blackness Is. Blackness is a topic where we are going to just try to define what blackness is in the African American community. I think that's very important. Before we get started with this topic, I'm going to share a poem with you, and the poem is entitled Blackness Is. Blackness is the man and woman that make up the tribe, eternal rhythm, eternal vibe. Blackness is. So many lost, so many gained, the slave ships turned our joy to pain, yet through it all, we still remain. Blackness is. Upright, toolmaker, pathfinder, stargazer, deep thinker, problem solver, world leader, and trailblazer. Blackness is. We shall overcome, or by any means necessary. We could be your president, or we could be your secretary. Blackness is 11 months plus February. Blackness is quite contrary to ignorance. Blackness is, was, and shall be you and me. I hope you enjoyed that Blackness Is that was written by Mr. Winslow. Hope you enjoyed the YouTube community. However, we are going to get to the topic at hand in Blackness Is and how we define blackness in the black community. Number one, what is blackness? Webster defines blackness as opposite of white, color of coal, Negro or Negroid. What is blackness? Statistics say AIDS, incarceration, poverty. Blackness used to be slave ship housed, plantation bound, and feared without delay. But Mr. Winslow, what about today? Well, glad you asked. Blackness today is a journey that many of us have experienced firsthand in our lives, in our communities. How have we seen it? Well, I remember myself in the late 80s, early 90s, the media would put these t-shirts out that would kind of exploit or promote black pride. They would have shirts that would say things like, it's a black thing you wouldn't understand, or too black, too proud. You would even hear some blacks in the black community refer to other blacks as Oreos, meaning they were white on the inside, but black on the outside. You would actually hear them make jokes about each other saying, well, you know what, that's a Casper, meaning that's a very, very light-skinned black person. Or they would conversely look at another black person and say, oh man, that's Tar Baby over there. That's, Captain Cole, whatever the case may be, because this would shed light on how dark this black person was. And we saw the spectrum in between. Nonetheless, as negative and as counterproductive as those words may be, they are still a part of the black experience. Yes, they don't define what being black is all about. No, they are a part of the black experience. We could even look at how the media has portrayed the black experience on the silver screen. We look at movies like Cooley High. We look at movies like Cornbread Earl and Me. We look at shows like Good Times. We look at movies like The Color Purple. We look at TV series like Roots. Nonetheless, these are just examples of blackness. Yes, they are just examples of blackness. But how do you totally define blackness? How would you just say, you know what? I'm trying to find a way to define blackness. Is there a book at the library that I can purchase? Is there some way that I can interview one person and then they would tell me about what it's all about to be black? If you wanted to find out what blackness truly was, you would have to interview every man, woman, and child who is black on the planet. That means that you would have to interview black people in the UK, black people in the US, black people in New Guinea, all over the world. It doesn't matter. That is the only way that you could find out about the black experience, by interviewing every black man, woman, and child on the planet. However, there are 3 points that I do believe that will help us on our definition of being black and will help us in our day-to-day lives. The first, blackness is knowing and reflecting on your past. Very important. Number 2, blackness is effective work in your present. And finally, blackness is anticipating your future. Notice I said your future and not the future. This is ultra important because if you reflect on your past, don't dwell on it, but reflect on it, this is going to give you the drive to not only face but surmount the problems that are occurring in your present. And when that happens, then you have no choice but to anticipate your future. Your future again, not the future. We need to take an inventory and we need to take ownership of our future. It's not enough to just say the future. No, that's too abstract and uncertain. My future, your future, our future, that needs to be in place. In closing, YouTube community, I know that some of you are going to be out there saying, well, Mr. Winslow, you're just one black man yourself. So how can you possibly say that you have defined what blackness is? No, the 3 points that I gave are 3 points that can help us on our journey in being Black Americans or blacks from the UK, wherever you are, because only you can tell part of the story of what being black is all about. Nobody else on the planet can do that. Only we can do that. So keep in mind that blackness is knowing and reflecting on your past. It is effective work in your present and anticipating your future. Until next time, YouTube community, this is Mr. Winslow signing off. Have an outstanding weekend, and also, God bless.